Hi everyone, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me today for a special Valentine's Day creation. So the canvas that I'm using is actually heart-shaped. I'm using some classic colours, just paint and water. So let's go down on the canvas, and I'm revisiting a creation that I've already done, but I wanted to celebrate love and Valentine's Day. So as always, thank you so much for being here. Let's see what we can create. So let's take a look at the colours. All my paints are mixed with just water, so it's very fluid. I've got the De La Rowney brand there. I'm using a titanium white by Amsterdam. So the first colour, that red, that vermilion. Then I've got the gold, iridescent gold by Pebeo, one of my most favourite colours, and then the pearl raspberry red by Arteza. So again, all the colours are mixed with just water. So let's get that base on the canvas. I'm going to have a very vibrant base to this, and I'm just going to blow the paint out across that surface area with my blow dryer. So the hairdryer itself is a Remington, and it's the D3010. People ask me that all the time, and I do list all of that in the description box below. And remember, when I'm using my hairdryer, it's always on a cool setting and the lowest blow speed. So cool setting and lowest blow speed for all of my Dutch pours and blowouts. So it's now about puddling those paints in the centre of this heart. So I'm just going to take one colour at a time, and I'm going to do 3 puddles. So I'm just going to start off with the titanium white by Amsterdam, just puddling that in the middle. And when that mixes with that red on the base, it should kind of give a lighter red or even a pink tone to this. So the 3 puddles are there, and now I'm going to add the iridescent gold by Pebeo. So again, just puddling the paints on top of each other, one colour at a time. Before I put on the raspberry red by Arteza, I'm just going to add in a little bit more white. So a little bit more white, titanium white by Amsterdam, and then directly on the top of this is that raspberry red, that pearl raspberry red by Arteza. So again, just puddling that colour in those puddles, one colour at a time. I am going to use my torch, and that's just to pop any air bubbles. When you mix up your paints, you'll create air. And I do want a little bit more flow. So that base colour that you see, I'm just going to puddle that around those colours that I've already just puddled onto the canvas. So as I was saying, the torch pops all those air bubbles, and when you're mixing up your paint, as you're stirring in the water or pouring medium or both, whatever you're going to use, you're adding air into that mixture, and it's that air that you really want to kind of distinguish by using that torch. So again, I'm going to take my blow dryer, it's on a cool setting and the lowest blow speed, and I'm just blowing the paint out from those 3 puddles that we've just layered in the centre to the outer edges. I'm not going to do too much blowing, I don't want the colours to muddy, but as you can see, there's some natural cell reaction here. So because I'm using a gold, and I always find the iridescent gold by Pebeo really does help create natural cells, and that's because of the densities of the paints are slightly different to each other. So I'm now just going to use my mouth to blow out a little bit more detail. I want some of those puddles that we've just blown out with the hairdryer to reach the outer edges of this heart. So I think I'm nearly there. I might just tweak that composition a little bit more. I'm just going to blow a little bit more in this area, just here. I do really want that balance of that negative space, of that red, that deep red that's on the base, mixed with that kind of combination of pattern that's been blown out from those puddles, that white, that gold, and that raspberry red. So I'm just using my blow dry again, just to tweak. When you look at your painting, don't be scared to just step back and have a look at the overall composition, the overall look. just decide whether you want that paint to go over those edges or whether you want it just to go up to that edge and stay firmly on top. So let me take you in now for a closer look. Let's look at those gorgeous cells you can see just on the right hand side, and it's those combination of colours. I really love it. So think about those colours when they kind of merge together, that they're blown in together, the different tones that that's also going to create. I think I am just going to blow out a little bit more just here, just to give that balance. I've just done that, so you can see that that just balances a little bit more. I've got that edging just here, and yeah, I'm happy with that overall composition. I'm of course going to place this to one side to dry. I just love this gold here, and I'm hoping when that dries that's going to really shimmer and sparkle through. I love that detail. And that raspberry, that pearl raspberry red by Arteza is, you know, it's gorgeous. It goes really well with this one. But I think what really helps that one pop is that titanium white underneath. And I just wanted to use that white, not only to create like a more of a pinkish colour when that's mixed with the red, but it's just to help separate those other colours that I was layering on top. So that white really helped that pearl raspberry red kind of just pop and come into its own. So let me just show you one more quick close-up of this wet version before I set this aside to dry. People always ask me how long these creations take to dry, and I always say, obviously it depends on your drying conditions. I know some of us live in cooler temperatures or humidity might play an effect, but I would say a few days to kind of dry to touch, and then a couple of weeks, maybe 3 weeks to fully cure. Don't forget there's a lot of moisture in these paintings, not only because of the paints themselves, but what we're mixing it with. So whether that's pouring medium or water, we want all of that moisture to absorb before we seal a painting with either varnish or resin. So as you can see, this is the dry version. I really love it, and it's a special one, especially for Valentine's Day. So I hope you've had fun. I had a lot of fun doing that creation, and if there's someone you want to send a special message to, then drop them in the comments below and celebrate the love that you have for that person. So have a great week. Thank you so much for always joining me. All of your support means a lot. And whatever you're up to creatively, I hope you're having fun. And if you want to share what projects you're up to, then also drop them in the comments. But a big thank you from me to you for always joining me. See you soon, everyone. Take care. Bye.